Hi, friends. This is Carrie from Texas. This message is for all of my weight loss surgery survivors and my RSD warriors. Two big things that I deal with in my life that are challenging, and they do rear their ugly heads often. And it is a challenge. I've had RSD for 16 years. I'm approaching my second year anniversary for my weight loss surgery. So, no, sorry, third year anniversary. And both of these things are a challenge. And I deal with those challenges every day. The reason for this particular message is both of these things cause severe emotional depression. RSD has an extremely high suicide rate. And anybody that has suffered with poor self-esteem or is overweight, who's taken the steps to correct those problems but are still struggling, which I'm not gonna lie, I struggle still today because I gave one set of problems up for another set of problems. There's always challenges in life. It doesn't matter where we are in our life or what we're doing in our life. Life is difficult. It is a challenge. Um, it's how we approach those challenges and how we deal with those challenges that define who we are and how successful we are in our life. This message is to encourage anyone who is struggling with mental problems. I don't want to say mental illness, but your mental wellness is not where it needs to be. Please go seek some help. There is absolutely nothing wrong with saying to yourself, I need some help. We all do at one or two or three or four or all of our life need help. We are social beings and we need that sense of security and that sense of community. And a lot of times we just can't manage on our own. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with going and seeking help. Feel better. Because I believe in my heart of hearts that our physical health and our mental health are so entwined that if one is off, they're both going to be off. If you're not feeling well and it's an ongoing battle, like with chronic pain and RSD, you are going to have mental challenges, emotional challenges, because chronic pain is all consuming. You cannot get away from it. I have lived with it for 16 years. My husband is now living with it. And it is an emotionally exhausting process. And there's nothing with saying to yourself, I just need some help. I need some tools to figure out how to cope with my new normal. This past week in my community, and I grew up on the PGA golf circuit. My dad's a retired pro golfer that toured the PGA. And last week, my family, and the golfing community is my family. I grew up in that community. It's part of my life experience. It's part of the fabric of my life. And when we heard of this terribly sad news that one of our golfers, his life ended by suicide, it's a very devastating moment to say to yourself, my goodness, this person was at such a place in his life that he found no other solution but to take his own life. And that's a horrible place to be. Horrible place to be. And the thing that struck me so much by this is his parents' message. And his parents' message is so profound on so many levels at this moment in the world and in this nation. We have to be kind to each other. They want so desperately for us all to be kind to each other. When's the last time that you did something kind for somebody else that absolutely gave you nothing but the satisfaction that you helped somebody else? It sure is easy to be mean and hateful. Social media is a platform that encourages that. The ability to communicate with each other face to face is a dying art, and we need to recognize that, and we need to understand that we have to figure out a way to be nice to each other again, to communicate with each other again. I shudder to think what's going to happen to the world if we can't get that under control and vanquish what drives it all, which is evil. It doesn't take anything, it doesn't cost you anything to be nice to somebody else. Be nice to each other. My mother used to say that you got so much further from being nice than not being nice. And boy, was she true. Was that true? She had this uncanny ability to meet a stranger, and that stranger, after meeting her, felt like she'd known them their entire life. And more than likely, in that first initial meeting, my mother would have done something for that other person. She was she was incredibly giving, and she always put herself last. Her legacy is also to be kind to other people. A kind word goes so far, and it makes you feel so good. And a hurtful word lingers and grows like a cancer, and it invades into not only your mental wellness, but your physical wellness too. So let's take these parents' advice and let's be kind to each other. Let's take 5 minutes out of our day every day to do something nice for somebody else. And that can be as simple as picking up the phone and saying, "Hey, George, haven't talked to you in a while. How you doing? Just wanted to call and say hello." That's what creates the stability of a community and a nation. And this nation needs to get back to that before we implode. We really need to learn to be nice to each other again and communicate civilly with each other. If not, my grandchildren and their grandchildren may not have anything. And that's not the legacy that I want to leave when I leave this earth. I want them to have the same opportunities that I had, that my forefathers worked their asses off to give me. We owe it to our younger generations to make sure they have all of the opportunities that you and I did. And the way to start that is to learn to be nice to each other. So, thank you for being part of my community. I hope this message resonates out into the vast world. If you are struggling, please reach out for help. Reach out to me for help, and we'll find out where we need to get you help. Call your family, your friends, your priest, your teacher, whatever, and just make the phone call. Ask for the help. That is the most important step. Realizing that you need the help and then making the first step to get it. God bless you. God bless this amazing country that we live in. And I hope the summer is a productive, safe, and reparative time in our nation instead of a divisive time. I'm sick of divisiveness. Are you? If you are, join with me and let's get a positive tidal wave coming. God bless you. Thank you for joining me this evening, and happy summer.